Welcome back to what Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG, and this one is on the south spawn of Redshire under the command of Elirox. Well, he's got 7.51 second reload, he's using premium consumables, and he's loaded it with 34 rounds of HE, which has got a alpha damage of 410 and penetrating 53mm of armour with a 2 meters burst radius. He's also carrying 8 rounds of AP, armour piercing rounds, and they can penetrate up to 64mm of armour, just a little bit more, and 350 alpha off those, but you have to get a direct hit in order for them to work. Okay, well, he's moving into a position in this little cul-de-sac, this little alcove on the east side of the map, and from here, well, he can shoot without the enemy seeing him because he's inside this wood. But it is a cul-de-sac, which means that if the enemy comes here, he's got nowhere to run. He's stuck here. Okay, he's backing in, and from here he can shoot at the Zeppelin. So he's ready to go. He's just waiting for the enemy tanks to turn up. It's a tier 7 game. He's tier 5 Arty, which means he'll earn extra XP for all the damage he does to the enemy if they are higher tier opponents. And the first targets have turned up, and whoa, that was rather quick. A VK4503 and an M6. The tier 6 American heavy tank. Okay, he's dialing in on the M6, he fires around in, it goes long and lands behind. In fact, actually, I think he jerked at the last moment just before he fired, and that caused the shell to miss the target. That one hit the target. 122, and in fact, actually, he could use the AP rounds on that M6 because it's directly in front of him, and he took the round straight on with that next shot. In fact, this is the perfect position to actually fire AP rounds because the target's coming towards you. They're not moving much, and so you're very likely to hit them and do full damage. Okay, he's still just firing the HE at the moment. It's always worth remembering that. He gets a nice hit on the VK. If a target's actually coming towards you, and he's not moving much, AP rounds might actually be better than the HE. They'll do less module damage, but they're more likely to penetrate. Well, he's got another hit on the KV-85, and he's still punishing that guy. That one landed short. The KV-85's backing away. Okay, now he's got a Super Hellcat and an Su-85. Dialing in on the Super Hellcat. Thin armour on that vehicle. And yes, 442. That's a penetrating round on the Super Hellcat. Definitely penetrating. Going for the VK4503. Fires around in snapshot. Does get a hit though for 111. You don't normally get a hit when you snapshot, but he is dialing in right correctly this time, and he got another hit. Going for the Su-85. Rounds out. Yes, he gets a good hit there, 146. Going for the Super Hellcat again, who backs away. I think he doesn't like getting hit by Arty rounds. Well, he's out of the game now anyway. That was another penetrating shot. 358 hit points. Going for the VK. Fires it. Unfortunately, just falls to one side. That's RNG, I'm afraid. But he's dialing in on the VK and fires the round in. I keep suggesting go for the AP rounds. The AP rounds would be perfect right now. And he hits the VK again, potentially. He's got a high caliber now. 1,887 hit points. Oh, takes out the KV-85 with a shot to the side. It hit the engine bay, I think, on that tank and took him out of the game. Fires one at the Panzer IV-H. Another hit. This position is actually being very, very good for Elirox. That one went long and RNG said no. He's shaking his reticule trying to get it on target. Trying to make the reticule work. He fires a blind shot in. No joy. But that was a pretty good defense of that pass at that moment. Yeah, he was doing very well. And the 2 penetrating shots in the Super Hellcat, I'm sure that helped him to get the high caliber. Whether or not he'll retain it is another matter though. He's got 2,000 hit points of damage so far, but the game is still early. And there are still 8 opponents out there. In fact, their team is 1 tank down on the enemy. I think the enemy's actually given up trying to come this way because they know that they're being hit very badly every time they try to come through this way. And so it might be that the enemy is actually coming through the castle because there's nobody covering that side of the map. In fact, everybody has sort of like descended into the southeast corner of the map to try and put up a defense in strength. And normally that doesn't work if you do a defense in strength, because the enemy can then probe from various directions, find out where you are, and then use their Arty to actually deplete your health. We've lost all sight of the enemy now because our guys have all pulled back into this corner. In fact, the nearest tank to the enemy is probably that Super Hellcat. And even he is coming back down the river towards the cap area. KV3 and the SU-85 are the furthest north. And oh, now we just lost someone. We just lost the P-43, but the enemy lost, or rather, we took out a P-43. The enemy just lost the Scorpion. Oh, sorry, they just killed our Scorpion. VK-4503 coming through the Zeppelin pass again, and he's killed before we can hit him. Again, Elirox firing a bit snap there. Shouldn't do that. You have to dial in your rounds. If you fire snap, you're probably going to miss. And now the enemy's starting to come in to try and finish us off. The Super Hellcat's been spotted in the village. Oh, we lost our Super Hellcat. There's fires a round in. Good hit. That was an AP round. Went straight through the armor of the Super Hellcat. Elirox has switched to the AP because he's probably going to have more luck with the AP on these lightly armored targets. He got another hit. Another direct hit on the Super Hellcat. But we've lost another tank, the KV3, and now there's only 3 left on our team versus 5 of the enemy. Now we can see trees going down in the distance, but the only tank we've got left is the box tank, the SU-100Y. The other Arty on our team, that's an SU-14-1. That's rather a big Arty, very difficult to conceal. Okay, Elirox has loaded the HE rounds again. Now he needs to hold his shells until he can actually see something that he can definitely hit, and then dial in on target. 5 targets left. Oh, right, okay, now we've got the box tank. Now the AP rounds would really work on this one. Okay, well the kill goes to the SU-14-1. Well done to him. I think Elirox didn't give enough lead on the target, that's why the shell missed, but it was a good shot anyway, in the right direction. Super Hellcat, he's auto-aimed onto him. Now he's gone to manual aim. Gets around into the side of the vehicle, 147, makes the Super Hellcat now a one-shot. He's changed direction, he's coming towards us, and that was a big mistake for him because now he's much easier to kill, but we were spotted. Enemy Arty, will be honest, there are 2 enemy Arties, a Lorraine 15550 and another Fifi. And I should think that Lorraine, yep, there's a shell coming in. That was a Fifi round. Wasn't more powerful enough to be the Lorraine shell. You can tell the difference between the two because one is a 155mm shell, the other one is only a 105mm shell. And the 105mm shells, well, they make a nice thud on the ground, but they've got much less splash, and the 155s, they do a lot more splash, and they've got stun, and he wasn't stunned, so it had to be the 105. Well, we've lost the box tank, taken out by the T-67, and Elirox, well, he's decided to head north, or head over to the east side of the map. The box tank was it the box tank pinging? No. I have the feeling that they think that the T-67 is to the west, and he is. There he is. Elirox, well, the SU-14-1 driver is very good because he just killed the T-67, and that means now it's 2 Arty versus 2 Arty. Arty endgame. And this is why when people say they hate Arty, yes, you hate Arty until you ask for us to pull it out of the hat and win for you in an Arty on Arty battle. Remember, for us to get to this position where there's only Arty left in the game, it means the Arty players have to have been better than the tanks to kill them all off. Well, somebody is capping, so there is an enemy tank in the cap, or rather an enemy Arty in the cap, and my reckoning is that will be probably the Lorraine 15550. And since the view range of this Arty is 390 meters, we can probably go in and take him out. The SU-14-1 is doing the same. He doesn't need to, but I think Elirox can do it himself. But, well, 2's better than 1. Elirox is setting himself up to get an accurate shot on the cap as soon as the SU-14-1 spots the enemy. I'd start dialing in on the cap area. So the moment the SU-14... There's the Lorraine! So it was in actual fact the Lorraine. There he is, dialing in. He's seen us, I think. Yep. Hyper accurate shot. He hits us and takes... Oh, the enemy Fifi takes us out. It was a good try by Elirox. He got a good hit on the the Lorraine. But the SU-14-1 is now in attendance. Unfortunately, we can't see the battle unless Elirox switches to the SU-14-1. I had the feeling the SU-14-1 didn't get the shotgun he liked. He's now trying to turn, and the Lorraine shotguns him at close range. So sadly it's a defeat, but it was a valiant defeat at that. So Arty wins the game. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it was an ace tanker for Elirox in the 105 leFH18B2. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 11. He also got a Gore's medal for doing more damage than 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle, and a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall. And his win rate from that game was 10,778, and it was a far better game than the other one which you saw, which obviously ended up in a victory for Elirox. This one ended up in a defeat, but it was much better because he really did play his heart out to try and win it, and he got some excellent shots. He defended that east side of the map very, very well indeed. And, well, unfortunately, the enemy Arty was just a bit better on this occasion. They had the right Arty to do it. When you look at the team scores, you can see that he did score the highest damage in the game, 3,121 hit points. The next high scorer was the VK4503 with 1866, and after that it was their box tank with 1853. And when it came to kills, again he's got shared the high score with the SU-14-1. They both got 3 kills. The VK4503 and the box tank on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, it was the VK4503 who got the highest with 863 base experience points. Then came Elirox with 791, and then the T67 on the enemy team was 717. He fired 30 rounds, so he still had 12 rounds left at the end of that game. 18 direct hits, 4 penetrations, 21 splash. Damage of 3,121 hit points, of which 2,759 were up more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits. I'm afraid, yeah, 3 hits by way of splash damage, actually. Two of which actually did damage him. The one from the Lorraine 15550, which took off a huge chunk of his hit points, and the second one was, or the one that killed him, came from the enemy Fifi. Of course, that enemy Fifi shot that missed him nearby, that counts as a splash damage shot. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, the Lorraine, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 3, and did 323 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 59,988 credits, 6,075 for courageous resistance, that's for getting a battle hero medal in a losing or a drawn game, so his total 66,063 credits. And after ammunition resupply and repair, he still came away with a massive profit of 60,637 credits. He picked up 4 bonds for the awards and 1,186 XP. 660 for Courageous Resistance, 739 because this is a premium vehicle, took away 2,585 experience points altogether. This was a much better game than the last one, even though it ended up in a loss. He played very, very well indeed, and well, he was dialing in on the targets that were coming before him on the east side of the map, and he was getting hit after hit after hit, and that's why he got the high caliber so quickly early on in the game, is because he was just smashing those shells into the enemy tanks, and he stopped them in their paths, and the enemy couldn't actually come through that path. Not easily anyway, because they'd have to suffer or go past him first, and he wasn't going to let them do that. And when the enemy enemy Hellcat came through that pass and came round, yes, he paid for it by being taken out the game. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.